Hey, that joint was so abrupt.
Dog, like
The joint almost hurt. Frosty don't like the timer.
That don't be tripping.
She don't like the timer at all. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta, there's a built-in timer. We may have to do that. Anyway, what to do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building.
Yo.
Sin is all in the building.
What's
You are
happening?
now tuned in to Cutscenes, where we talk about video games, and cutscenes are
the best part of the game.
show you right. Man, we got some things to cover for sure. Here's what I want to do. I want to start by on Tuesday, we got to say happy early birthday. I guess today we'll say happy belated birthday. How did things turn out for your birthday, Jokes?
Chill. Very chill. Honestly, just took the day. Me and the girl just really just catch up on movies, shows, the whole nine. So got some food. It was a chill day.
I dig it. You didn't play any of that illustrious PlayStation 5?
I played a little bit.
What you been playing?
Right now I'm actually playing a PS4 game on here, but I'm playing Persona 5. I haven't touched any of the Personas, mostly just because once I loaded everything up and saw what was just free for PlayStation, because I haven't booted my PS4 up in a while, I was like, let me just go ahead and just start downloading some of these free jumps and just start loading up to the drive. The one thing I haven't touched yet, which I'm actually surprised at myself, but I don't want to touch it anymore because I know it's going to eventually come to the box, is Final Fantasy VII. As much as I know it's going to look good with the upgrade and things that they did for it, I just don't really want to touch it again until it drops on the box.
So, specifically, you're talking about the free version of the PlayStation 4 joint. Is that what you're talking about? Because, integrate.
Oh no, I had the deluxe edition. So like I have like the full deluxe edition version of it. But just
so why if you have a PS5 and they've done the upgrade to the PS5 version of it, why are you waiting for it to come to the box?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like I know it's coming. Because I'm gonna end up playing it through again. Probably. I don't know why. I just haven't gone into look and really see what it's. Probably just because I haven't really played anything PlayStation in a very long time. So when I start seeing all these other free things that I can get my hands on that I've really never have tried before, I was kind of more eager.
You can't get somewhere else.
I really am more eager to do that right now. Even though like Persona's a PS4 game, it has its slight upgrade or whatnot ever, but Persona's been very hot on a lot of people's lists, and I really wanted to jump in and try that out. I'm enjoying it, but good God, when I found out what happens when you get into a palace and the time that you need to take to actually go through one of these,
it's serious.
It's serious.
You ain't played this Astrobots Playroom?
I did play that. That was the first thing I did when I booted it up. That joint is clean. Okay. The haptic feedback and everything from the controller is pretty smooth on there. Joint does look good.
Okay.
They look good. Say it again. What they do?
It looked good. I just don't know if this is a joint that I'm really going to sit here. It's fun. It's interesting, but it's not something I feel like I'm just going to sit here and pour a ridiculous amount of hours to try to get like all the collectibles in things to fill up my area.
It's just a tech demo. That's all it is. It's not something to live in,
I mean, it is, but people are saying it's so.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff to get in that game. Like, just give you like I'm sure you've already, but like when you go in, you can collect like past PlayStation items, controllers, the consoles, memory cards from like the old consoles that just show up like in your playroom or whatnot ever. But then on the wall, there's a gigantic puzzle like with every different area that you can go into. And you have to pick up puzzle pieces as you're in each of these worlds. And eventually it's going to complete a whole entire puzzle. But there's just like 20, 25 pieces to this puzzle. And they're not like one, like you go in and you can just like grab all 25 like as one run through. Apparently they like change out. So you have to go through and do it a couple times before you can get all the pieces and actually make the whole puzzle piece.
Okay.
So let me do this. So you haven't spent any money yet.
Oh,
since you got the PlayStation far as like getting
Miles Morales is well, that's a midnight thing. Yeah, that.
I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting for my deposit. You know how it works out for that to kick in.
Miles Morales is a lot.
Did you not play? You didn't play Miles Morales on the PS4?
Nope, I never got it.
Okay,
I never got it.
Okay,
that's what's up. So that joint is going to be a whole.
That's the first joint.
Yep, that's going to be the jump.
Okay, no Ratchet and Clank for you.
I didn't. I think I played Ratchet. I think I played I'm pretty sure I played the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I played part of the second one, but then after that, I definitely did not touch Ratchet and Clank at all. I definitely would like to see it just to see what it is, to see what it looks like. But I'm not just buying that just to see what it looks like.
What about Returnal?
Maybe I'm not.
That $70 got you. That $70 got you geeking like.
Yeah. Game Pass has spoiled me.
I got that PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Collection. Like, that joint spoiled you, huh?
I start looking at regular price games. Like the only regular price joint that's getting purchased, and that's going to probably be on the box, is Demon Slayer. That's probably the only full purchase joint. And it's a deluxe edition too.
All right, man. Well, listen, I'm glad you had a good birthday and you managed to get a PS5 like right before your birthday. So I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I figured out why you so lucky too. I'm gonna talk to you about that in a second. We already talked about the 7-7 thing, but you got that additional 7 that's in there. You got 3 7s in your joint. You know what I'm saying? Cause you 89, dog. What's 8 plus 9? 17. You got another 7 in that joint, dog. Like it's some jokes like, you know what I'm saying? You a snake in the grass. I like it.
That jackpot.
Yeah, super lucky, Kristen. By the way, hey, all right, look. So this is what we got to do. We got to talk about the new Switch. We have to, because we can't. Like, it would be wrong if we didn't. So we have to talk about this new Switch. This new.
We do.
OLED.
We do.
Switch. The Swatch. The Nintendo Swatch. That's what I'm calling it. The new joint is the Swatch. There it is for your viewing pleasure in that like stone off-white, same size depiction. All right, here's the thing. This is what I want to do. Sin.
Yes, sir.
Why you holding your smile? I don't know where Marcus is. You know when he shows up, he gonna be late. He gonna be late, Marcus, today. I don't know.
He's scared of you, Frosty. We've already learned that, so that's just what it is.
Or did you ban him and he can't get in this?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, Sin, are you satisfied with what you saw?
No.
Okay, let me check the ban logs.
Like, oops.
You're not satisfied with what you saw.
I mean, it was as I was watching the announcement. Some things as it was going, it was like, okay, cool, okay, it's got the LAN jack, okay, they enhanced the audio, cool, OLED screen, cool. Then when you find out like it's not like outputting the 4K or anything like that, it's like, okay, so really I can just skip this entirely. I mean, big kickstand on the back, great for when you're on the go, like cool. But maybe. I'm good. I'm good.
Jokes? Give me the what's up.
I'm right in the same place with Sin. Like, for me, 99% of the time, my Switch is docked and is being played on my TV. And it's like, for the very small fraction of a time that I have out of it, I don't know if I'm going to be paying another $350 to get, honestly, just the OLED screen. Yeah, but just like I said, the kickstand's nice. Ooh, it's got 64 gigs now. They upgraded the storage capacity. But no, like, especially, and I just got a new Switch. They released the red one, so I got like the updated battery and all that from the first generation. Like, if they would have told me it would output in 4K, maybe, because honestly, the games that I would be playing on there, I don't even think I would even take advantage of the full 4K of it anyway. The LAN jack is cool, but when you're online, sucks. What does it really even make a difference for?
Yeah, so Cuddy, yeah, you thought you heard it supports 4K, whatever that means. It doesn't.
Nope, not at all.
What that was like a lot of the rumors that came out beforehand. So let me just do this. Let me lay a couple things out, because I do know and understand that people are upset. Thank you.
Yeah, Smash Online, but
by saying that Nintendo never said, "Oh, we putting out a 4K Switch." No, they never said that. Mm-hmm. It's all been rumors and speculation about what they're gonna do and what's coming up and all that kind of stuff. And look, here's the reality of it is, maybe that was the initial intention. Maybe they were going to do something like that, and they just couldn't because of what COVID is, because chips or whatever it is, right? So maybe they were going to. I need to play Smash Online. Frosty, Smash ain't. All right, so I want to start with that, because I think a lot of people's disappointment is coming from the fact that they were expecting that more powerful,
those rumors,
right? And it doesn't have those things, right? What they gave you is a bigger screen, a wider kickstand, and a LAN port. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all there is. But yes, there's no so I'm disappointed. While this is typical behavior for Nintendo, in my opinion, if you look at what Nintendo normally does, I feel like here's what I think the other part of the problem is. The Switch is an anomaly because it is their home console. And what Nintendo does not usually do is they don't usually do an updated version of their home consoles. Mm-hmm. It is regular for them to do with their handhelds. If you look at the number of Game Boy SPs, the number of DSs, 3DSs, and so forth, like, they consistently do that. Has anybody tried to play Kazuya?
I haven't got a chance yet. I'm gonna do it this weekend.
Frosty, did you play Kazuya Mishima? Yeah, I mean, correct. It is the third version with minimal changes. Oh, she likes it, man. It's too fun. I mean, that makes sense coming from a Tekken star like yourself, with all the 10-hit combos and the power punches and hits. I like it. We may have to dig into that. Yes, Cuddy, you're right. This is the third version of the Switch. It's minimal changes. I think it's gonna be nice for some people. Like, listen, if you bought a Switch 4 years ago and your joints getting old, you got Joy-Con drift, you think about spending $80 for a new controller anyway. Maybe you're in there for the need of a new. You cannot.
Also, it's good for people who play theirs on the go, maybe travel a lot, staying in a hotel. Who knows? Like, just having that bigger screen might, just be easier, better for them. Yeah, people that travel a lot.
Correct. Like, there is. I'm not saying this isn't for anyone. There are clearly people who this is for, who it makes sense for. What I think is the problem is the price. $350 for a Switch with an OLED. That is the only other thing they really gave us was additional memory. And that memory it's double the memory. You don't really need it. You already, like, at this point, anybody who has a Switch has already gotten memory. Like, they have cards.
Size micro SD card and popped in there.
Jumped through that hoop already, I feel like. So
in this day and age, you're gonna bump it up to 64. Like,
come on, dog.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. In this day and age, with what memory costs, like, that's not where that price is coming from. The reality of it is, I think the truth is, they should have dropped the price of the regular Switch and dropped the price of the Switch Lite and brought this in at $300.
Yeah,
$350 is stupid. It's stupid for this. Like, it's dumb. I don't care if you say it's an OLED screen. I don't care how because here's the thing. Yes, it's a nicer screen and it's bigger. It has no more clarity. It's still a 720p screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it's going to make the games necessarily look any better or anything like that.
Mm.
It's just a bigger screen. That's it.
Listen, and I'm not saying going from 6.2 to 7 is a significant jump. Like if you look at a iPhone and then an iPhone Max, the when they say the number of the screen, it don't seem like it's that big a deal. But if you slap them
set
joints
them two together,
together,
you can see that difference.
one joint is bigger than your face and the other one's the same size as your face. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. See, yeah, Frosty. Like I got 3 games on my Switch, one of which must be Smash Brothers. I don't. There are plenty of people who have a ton of games, who play all kinds of games, a lot of indie games, stuff they're going to download, whatever. But that also doesn't necessarily feel like it quantifies a bigger screen. That's a nicer screen. Like realistically, they could have gone with a bigger screen that wasn't an OLED if they weren't going to give us any higher clarity. Like, yes, an OLED screen is still nicer. You know what I'm saying? So there are things for sure that an OLED screen will do for you just for the look of it versus what an LED screen is. There's like, you're going to get better black levels. It's going to look crisper, stuff like that. You still getting 720p. Like that's all you getting. You still getting 720. Like, as a matter of fact, for certain games, like if you take a game like The Witcher 3, which does run on the Switch miraculously, but it does run on the Switch. If you compare what that game looks like on the Switch to what it looks like running on anything else, that joint is so muddy and so disgusting. And it might just look more muddy and more disgusting because you have a screen
that screen
that to you better than what the old one did. Like pushing up the clarity technically of that screen by having it be OLED might actually make things look worse than they did.
I think that is a possibility.
Yeah, possible.
I would not. Now, if they are getting if you go right now, if you look at Nintendo's website, they show all 3 models. They show the Switch Lite, the Switch, and they show the Switch OLED. If they are getting ready to actually get rid of the original Switch, which I think could be a thing, and you only have the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED, now it's a little bit of a different ball game. What's up, Alfonso?
What up?
They say, yeah, it's stupid, especially with me who plays to include my girls 99% of the time. It's Doc. Yeah, like. You know, look, I think it's cool that the old Joy-Cons work with it. I think it's cool that all the accessories still work, which again is where the cash cow is for Nintendo. $350. We already know they making money on the Switch.
On the Switch itself.
This is a like, and all the rest of the components in that joint old. Like, dog, a LAN port. You know how much it costs for a LAN port? You have any idea how many cents?
I was gonna say.
How many pesos?
And that should have been on there from the beginning.
Thanks.
Like, the only upgrade to the keeping it at home part of it is the LAN port. You know what I'm saying?
That drift.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Like, I was literally just looking at replacing the Joy-Cons on my daughter's Switch because I tried to play that gorgeous Lego Journey on that joint. I almost threw up. Like
you just Tokyo drifting out there.
What? Hey, bruh, staying in Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? We hitting the Jersey wall drifting, bruh. It's no good. And I'm like, how are you playing like this? She getting victory royales on that joint. How are you playing like this?
Oh, she didn't figure out how to compensate. Hey, that's skill.
Yeah,
she got. Hey,
and here's the thing. In my head, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna replace these joints. I'm just gonna get her like the Pro Controller joint. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, and let her play with that joint. But then I was like, but that joint is so bad that when you turn it on, like even on the home screen, that joint is just like selecting whatever's the furthest to the left. Like that joint is just like, nah, dog, you are done. So I can't fathom it. Here's the other thing. You know it's bad when Nintendo announces a new console and they're not trending on Twitter. But instead, the Xbox Series S is trending on Twitter. Listen, that is incredible. I was on Twitter for hours because I could not, like, I was just like, I've never seen this happen in Nintendo. And to me, that speaks to the power of what it is that Xbox is doing right now. Literally, people all over Twitter is like, why would I pay $350 for this when I could literally get an Xbox? I could get an Xbox Series S and Game Pass and be good.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just got to play Mario. Mind you, the last Mario game, which is Mario Golf, hasn't been reviewing that well. It's like mediocre so-so. You know what I mean? You haven't had and probably aren't going to get a new Mario, a Galaxy, or whatever. Like, they not even celebrating my man anniversary like they ought to be. You know what I'm saying? You're getting a remake, an updated remake of a new Zelda game that's super old. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're doing right now. So, like, and you introduce the OLED screen for your new console, your upgraded console, with the new Metroid game that is a 2D pixelated.
I cannot get my head around that. Why would you choose this game to showcase the OLED screen? It makes no sense to me.
Slim, you want to talk about like poor decision making? Like, it just feels so crazy. Cuddy says, I might have to give the extra Joy-Cons I'm sitting on. That's terrible. Hey, listen, send them on, because I already made some decisions and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. Here's where I'm at. Yesterday on Kickstarter, I saw there's a new screen that somebody is kickstarting for the Xbox Series S. It snaps onto the back of the joint, basically makes Xbox Series S portable. That joint is already so tiny. It just snaps on and you have a screen on that joint. You can just rock. And I was like, oh, you might get my support. I should probably buy a Series S first, but like, I already want to. So, like, right now, like, listen, I don't play games handheld. Never have. Like, I have had Game Boys, Game Gears. Like, I've had Game Boy Advance, SPs, DSs, lights. I drive everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no reason for me to play portably unless I'm like in a very specific situation. And most of the time I put myself in a situation where I can connect my console.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the thing about the Switch has always been it's a home console that you can take with you. And I think that's one of the reasons why people are so upset. Like, I feel like people feel betrayed, right? Not just because a lot of the media has been going, hey, they about to do a 4K Switch, right? For the expectations were high. But I think the only reason why people were expecting that was because this it does connect to your TV, right? It is so far behind everything else that's happening. And Nintendo continues to ride that line and stay behind. So, like, I don't know, man. $350 just seems
that's very steep for that console. That's very steep.
I'm not. And you know me, like, once I will buy some stupid stuff, and I will do it, but I am not buying this.
I mean, again,
that's something I would get down the line if something happens to mine, and I gotta get replacement. That's the only way I would go and grab it.
Exactly, because it's gonna cost you $300 anyway, so you might as well do the extra.
Pay the extra at that point.
Get the land port and all that other stuff. Yeah, just might as well.
That would make the most sense. Like, for another $50, you might as well do it. But at the same time, for another $100, you could be in a PlayStation 5 with no disc. I'm just saying, like, it just.
No, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's a little baffling to me. And it really does. Here's the thing. I think what's happened is this particular move has opened a lot of people's eyes and painted Nintendo in a bad light. It's made them seem greedy because I think a lot of people feel like they're asking for too much for this. And I think it's because, again, a lot of what makes the Switch what the Switch is being able to connect it to your TV, right? And so adding something that for the most part only benefits you
On the go.
If you're on the go, it means that they are treating it a lot more like the way they treat their handhelds. And so I think that is opening people's eyes to where Nintendo is with it. Is this actually a console that is designed to actually go on your TV, or is it actually a portable? And I think it is a portable. It's not a console. And I've been saying that from day one, but like, yes, it connects to your TV, but it really is just like having a version of like the Game Boy Advance joint that connected to your Super Nintendo, where you could put your Game Boy joints in there, or the joint that connected to the underside of your GameCube where you could play your Game Boy joints on there. They haven't really put the true time and effort into allowing you to take advantage. Like all these people with all these 4K, like 4K TVs are just regular now. It's synonymous now. So to not be on that makes it seem like you're so far behind. And it seems to me that they are focusing more on the portability of it and not on the console portion of it. And realistically, they probably have the data to back that up, to say this is really where we should be aiming. This is the thing that makes the most sense. Most of the people don't play on the TV. They play it on the go. But maybe they would play it on the TV if it could do what their TV, you know what I'm saying? If people spent the kind of money they spent, like, Slim, I sold TVs for years. And for years, people would come and be like, yeah, I want a new TV, or I'm trying to get a new TV. And it's like, all right, well, what kind of cable do you have? Because if you don't have high def cable and you watch a lot of TV, you're wasting your money on this TV right now, because you're not going to get any high def content. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about when that wasn't a thing. It was like, if you're going to get this TV, you need a Blu-ray player. You know what I'm saying? So like, so that you can at least get what the TV does. You know what I'm saying? For you. You're spending the money on it. So even though now it's regular, to get something like that that doesn't even take advantage of what the TV's base skill point is. We're not talking HDR. We're not talking VRR. We're not talking, you know what I mean? Like, we're not even talking about having a 4K TV that does all of the things that these other consoles do. We're talking about just your basic, it does what the TV is made to do, which is display in 4K. This joint doesn't even do that. Why would I hook it up to my TV? You know what I'm saying? Like, for $350? For $350?
That's just too close. Base
means
PS5
you're buying it to be
Series
portable.
S.
You're not walking in. Yeah, you're not walking into a Best Buy and picking out a new TV and getting a Switch.
Nah.
This is not.
You want something that can display all those pixels and all that stuff. Yeah. You want to get a
You're going into a Best Buy to get a joint, like you're going on a trip. You forgot your joint. You know what I'm saying? Or the kids need something to do.
But they broke that joint.
You know, whatever.
I mean, let's switch right now.
But again, bear in mind, all these kids got phones.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, $350 just feels
too steep.
It feels uninformed. And again, they got more data than I got. I'm just going by what I feel in our little video game bubble. That $350 just feels so out of touch.
Agreed.
And I'm going to tell you why. I want you to look at this. You see this? Did y'all see this post? Xbox posted yesterday to their Instagram. And it says, if you're wondering how they're playing Xbox games with they added PlayStation, my dog, with an PlayStation controller and a tablet, the answer is cloud gaming with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. A dog.
That is gold. That's gold.
Coming for
hey, that's a shot right there across the bow. I'm sorry.
But hey, you know what? They at least get a PlayStation. Hey, go buy a PlayStation controller. Hey, we still helping you guys out. They go buy a PlayStation controller, but they in our ecosystem.
And it's cool. Because they're like, yo, if you really do prefer the ridiculousness that is your two analog sticks next to each other, by all means. But get in this Game Pass, we want that money.
It's fine.
Play with what you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go. Listen, you don't have to go to the. That is literally, you don't have to go to the store at all. You already have a PlayStation. You already have a controller. Oh, it's a PS4 controller? That's cool.
You're good.
Yep.
Just Bluetooth that joint to your tablet. Go on your tablet and get this Game Pass. You don't have to go nowhere. Come jump in our ecosystem. By the way, when you make yourself a gamer tag, you can change your name on that joint easy, dog. It's just, dog. Listen, you right, Cuddy. There's levels to this, and Microsoft is like, again, I've never seen Nintendo like, we got a new console, and instead of them trending, the Xbox is trending. People are like, yo, you should just get this. Why would you do this? You know what I'm saying?
And not nothing that like Xbox necessarily put out.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just the fans. It's just the people saying, "Come on now, why we pay this for that when we can literally get an Xbox that's way more powerful than that?" Like,
it's a straight up response that's coming from the people.
Yeah,
like, dog, I might as well just buy a Series S.
And you take that extra money and get that screen. Join that Kickstarter. Get that screen. I mean, if you want. But hey, all you need is Game Pass. That's all you need, because you got yourself a smartphone. You got yourself a tablet.
And we gonna talk about that in a minute too, because here's the thing, man. So y'all know Joe's birthday was yesterday. Edie's birthday was also yesterday, and I decided to get her one of these.
Oh.
Got her a backbone, okay, for her iPhone. Hey, dog, listen. This joint is a switch, dog. Like, it basically makes your phone into a switch, dog. Literally, you put your iPhone in here, you open the joint up, it closes on it, it's retractable, right? And then once you do it, it tells you, it automatically tells your phone to go get the app. You download the app, right? Once you download the app and sign in, it automatically, like, when you connect it, this little button here lights up, this orange button right here. You hit this button, and it will take you into, like, you can just play the games that are in, like, Apple Arcade. You can play just, like, whatever's on there. But she has Game Pass Ultimate. So we went to Safari, right? Went to xbox.com/play, logged in, and all the cloud gaming joints was just like right there, dog. Was right there. It's $100, right? Listen, we had a little bit of trouble because her Apple ID is for under 13, and there's certain apps that allow you to automatically go to because of that. Okay. Still, when you go to the once you go to the Xbox, like xbox.com/play, when you go there and you log in, it tells you to hit a particular thing and it adds an icon to your
home screen.
And once you hit that, it takes you to a screen that lets you log in, or you can just hit keep me signed in and do it. Once we hit that and have her keep me signed in, we can literally just tap that joint. She goes in and she's just playing. Though she's playing Sims, playing Forza last night, just getting it. You know what I'm saying? So Zaina was home yesterday. She was a little upset that she doesn't have it. She was like,
the salt is real.
One of these joints, because, like I told y'all, like a couple weeks, she just signed up for Game Pass Ultimate and was just like, yo, so I can just rock this joint. Like, she told me she was thinking about getting a Switch, and she was like, I'm not gonna buy a Switch. I'll buy this for $100 and just play on my Xbox joints. And literally, again, listen, here's the thing. Part of what's beautiful about it is how seamless it is, because you literally just log into your account and all your stuff is there. Like, literally, that joint picked up exactly where she was playing Forza, and she ain't played Forza in like a year. You know what I'm saying? That joint just picked up exactly where she was in The Sims. Like, she missed a beat. Zaina jumped on it, put the joint on her phone, jumped into limbo, just started playing. Like, yo, I was about to buy this joint. Like, so she's like, I'm getting one. Me, I'm like, okay, that joint is specifically for. I'm sold. I'm getting a Razer. I'm getting a Keisha. I'm getting one.
You gotta get one.
You know, because here's the thing. I already can do this, and I can connect. I'm like, you really don't even have to do that, because you can just connect your controller you already have and play, right?
And then you could just get one of the other ones. Like, that's what I have. Matter of fact, ironically,
here's the thing, Cuddy. Here, you can plug this joint in and continue to charge your phone while you're playing. So I don't know what the full battery drain on it is. I'm sure it's got to be something. You know what I mean? But literally, you can just plug it in and keep running. Yeah, here's the other thing about it. The thing about the backbone that's dope, this button right here is a capture button. You can capture screenshots, live gameplay, all of that. You can capture the joint right there. I'm like, this joint.
That's kind of fire.
I'm a little sick in my head. They don't have one of these for Android. A little sick. Keisha gonna have to do. I'm just like, you know what? Instead of me, because I honestly, not even joking, was thinking about buying an extra, like a regular Xbox controller just to keep in my bag, so that when I want to, I can just jump in. You know what I mean? And play like just in the cloud or whatever. But why do that? When, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was gonna do it, I'd get a custom one that's gonna run me 80.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And right now the Keisha on sale for it's like $10 off. It's like 89 instead of 99 right now if you get it through Xbox website. And this is the thing. I was gonna get the backbone from Microsoft's website the day they announced it, but it was gonna take like 2 weeks. And I went on Amazon, they had them in stock, and I got the joint in like a day. Same price.
Amazon for the win.
It just, dog, like, again, there are moves being made that they just seem so oddly strategic, right? That's the kind of thing that almost makes it feel like it might actually be a really good idea if Nintendo let them put Game Pass on Switch.
I'm telling you.
Because if they dare allow you to have a web browser on the Switch, it's already
it's a wrap.
Yeah. It's already going to be a problem. It's already going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm at this place now where, again, some of the moves they're making are just they're. All right, look at this. Read this. It's crazy that Xbox really will releasing the best games for both Xbox and PS5 this year, dog.
It's true.
Yeah.
Play where you want.
Like people maintaining that there's no games or whatever. It's like, yeah, but like and you know those games eventually are gonna come over and they're gonna be Game Pass when they do. You know what I mean? What up, KB?
What up, K?
Yeah, like I think Nintendo is. Listen, I could be super wrong, right? These joints might fly off the shelves, dog. Like people just because again,
I'm not gonna be surprised if they fly off the shelves because Nintendo has a strong fan base and the fanboys can go out there and just get it, gobble it up. I would not be surprised at all.
And while you're right, it feels to me like a lot of the fanboys were the ones complaining. Like, Nintendo, what is you doing? Like, why would you do this? And again, I saw a lot of people like, well, yeah, I mean, look at how many Game Boy SPs there were. Look at how many DSs there have been. Look at how many and y'all just go get another one. And if you don't need a 3D XL, you don't buy one. You keep playing on your 3D, but then when your joint dies, which inevitably is going to do, or when it breaks or whatever it is, or the controller starts acting up.
Like I said earlier, it mine goes kaput. All right, let me just go get the new one. That's how you
do it.
Exactly. And that's like for somebody who already has a collection, right, of games and stuff that they want to play or that they will continue to play or something like that, it might be worth it. Realistically, though, while you might have a bunch of games, how many games do you actually play on your Switch?
I play a few of mine. I'm not playing them right now because I'm in other games on other systems, but I do play them. I bought a second dock just like I have one in here and one on the TV out there. So I do play mine.
You didn't do that. You didn't do that because you play it that often. You did it for streaming purposes.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I did it for strictly gaming. Because I've been playing Mario Odyssey. Because I've been playing Mario Odyssey and I didn't want to, for streaming in here or just relaxing and playing, I didn't want to keep moving the docks around.
That's what I'm saying. So, you got a second dock to put in there for streaming purposes, not because if you just playing it, you would play it out there on the big TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a second dock that's in there where you are for streaming purposes because you're not sitting in there. Are you sitting in there just playing Mario on that joint because you're in that room?
Oh, no. Everything. Yeah, this is what streaming happens.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like you got a second dock because you play the Switch that often and it's that big a deal that you felt like you got to have a dock in every room or whatever. You got the second dock for being in that room for streaming purposes.
Yes.
So like when it comes to like, what are you playing? Okay, Mario Odyssey. How old is that game? Would it be worth buying a new Switch for that? No. Right?
No.
Right. So that's my point. It's like you like, unless somebody has a collection and they really like, yeah, I would much rather have the bigger screen, or my joint's acting up anyway, or I was thinking about buying a new one regardless, but I've been kind of on hold. Yes, I was hoping for 4K, but even though I'm not getting it, I'm still, as far as I'm concerned, there's a good chance a year from now, maybe 2, we're gonna get another Switch that does 4K. Or we're getting a whole new console. And the Switch technically just becomes their handheld. Because you have to remember that having the Switch Lite does take certain games just out of your playability, period. It just does. In a way that didn't happen when you went from 3DS to 2DS. Like, you could still play all those games.
Play the same one.
You know what I mean?
Just
like,
gonna get 3D.
Exactly. So, I mean, look, I feel like the price point is out of pocket. I feel like, and for them to not, and we talked about this, like we said, they probably not gonna drop the price. They probably just gonna make you pay more.
I said that's exactly what I said. That price was gonna be right there. But I kind of figured we would start seeing some of those other features on there. They just said the 4K was on the dock, and you could at least do that. Like, I'd have been fine with that. But especially hearing the room, the rumors where Nintendo was telling all of the developers and things, go ahead and start preparing for 4K. And when you hear that, that's like, okay, it sounds like this is going to be a thing, but it still makes you wonder. I guess maybe that is that next console that's coming out, and they're trying to prepare. But it's like, I wonder if these developers are like, well, that's not what we were kind of expecting right now when you told us.
I mean, I'm sure they know though, right? And again, it could be a result of just what COVID has been like over the last, year and a half, man. It is just like, the intention maybe was there to do that and add that additional functionality. And honestly, cost-wise, because again, look, like, while they do make money on stuff, like, everything is getting more expensive. And when you're talking chips and pieces and parts, whether it's plastic or it's wood or it's copper, dog, like, everything is going up in price. And so in them looking at their numbers internally, they probably said, if we do it and we don't include a 4K output, it'll save us this much money. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, those are the kinds of things that make the most sense. Like, even when, like, Phil Spencer was asked directly, like, why, like, every Xbox console has had an optical out on it, every joint, except for the new ones. And when he was asked about it, he was like, yeah, I know it seems little. He was like, and realistically, like, putting a optical out, like, on the box probably would have run somewhere between 50 cents and $1 a unit. But he said, when you multiply that by the number of units we're doing, it adds up real quick. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it may seem like minuscule or whatever when you look at what it is, but it adds up real fast. And I get that.
Yeah.
I do think that, I think the price point is a mistake. I think that Nintendo can absolutely afford to drop the price of the original Switch. But I also feel like if they drop the price of the original Switch, even if they drop it by $50, it's going to fly off the shelf and the OLED joint's going to sit. Or people will go, oh, I was going to spend that anyway. Let me get the OLED joint.
I can say it's going either way, yeah.
So if you're trying to give the impression that your product is premium, it's a premium and you should pay more for it, how do you do that? It has to be more expensive than the other one, and you can't necessarily drop the price to do it because you have so many people that literally just bought the Switch for $300. So if you bring this one out and you make it $300 and you drop the price, you're gonna have a lot of
pissed off people.
A lot of angry people. Like, I just bought the joint. I could have saved $50, or I could have got the better screen. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Hopefully, you in that return policy, you go back and it's like, hey, you taking this back or you getting that difference back. One of the two.
Right. Cuddy says, if this is effects from the pandemic for Nintendo, it's not getting any better with Japan's state of emergency and COVID cases on the rise again. Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. Like, it's one of those things where this is probably going to be difficult to get. And it's probably going to continue to be difficult to get. But you'll probably have a lot of hand-me-downs. Like, there'll be people who just get an old Switch to their kids. Be like, this joint is permanent, y'all. Y'all can just have it. I'm getting a second Switch for the house. I'm gonna get this one, or I was gonna get you a Switch Lite. No point in doing that. I'll just get this joint, and you can have, you know what I mean, have the other joint or whatever. Like, there are a lot of scenarios where this plays out in Nintendo's favor. You know what I mean? I think it feels disingenuous. But they probably were left without an option, realistically. In terms of doing what it was they really wanted to do. Hey, look, I know you, Jokes. Did you get a chance to check out the state of play today?
I didn't watch it, but I kind of went through the tidbits afterwards and looked at some of the games.
You can say you didn't care.
I didn't, honestly, because it's like every state of play is just straight. Like, I get it. That's how they're doing it, but the presentation, the way that they do it, is just like just announced.
Right? It was like a thing about it was all about Deathloop. And
Deathloop was in it.
There was a 9-minute, give or take, presentation on Deathloop. Everything else in it was like indie stuff, which the majority of it was stuff we've seen before. So basically, like, I watched through it. There's a couple joints that look really dope that I'm interested in. Forged in Shadow Torch Fist. That joint looks dope. Sifu, getting a second look at that joint. I might be all in on that joint. That joint looks dope, bruh. There was a joint they had that they got like they had the developer do some like talking through like what was going on. It was a game called Jet the Far Shore, which I guess I mean, it seems cool. Like,
Cuddy, get out the chat. Cuddy, get out the chat.
Nah, that's good. You can say.
No.
Hey, Cuddy, you my new favorite, bro.
Go ahead, trash it all you want. I'm telling you, with this new joint that's gonna come out, it's gonna put some new respect on Beast Wars.
Hey, all right. When you find out they got one of the lady who does the voiceover for State of Play is voicing one of the beasts, you're gonna be you ain't the worst. Look, they're getting better. They showed different footage from Demon Slayer, which we had seen already, so that was cool. They showed some Lost Judgment stuff, which was cool. It was really good to see, and that joint looked really good, bro.
It does.
They showed a lot more information about the Death Stranding director's cut. Which again is a game that they're putting out again, but they're adding a bunch of stuff to it, which seems cool. So, like, you know, I guess if you don't have it already, it'd be worth getting. If you have it already, I don't know.
But I don't know if it's
it. Deathloop, you know, realistically, like, I don't even need to see more on it. Like, I'm sold on Deathloop. Deathloop looks dope.
They're gonna come out.
I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation for it. But again, if I get my hands on one,
right,
I probably still wouldn't buy it because I'll just wait for Game Pass, realistically. But I still think I think it was dope. I find it super interesting that, like, Xbox and Bethesda did a conference. And one of the things I brought up when we were talking about it was, do we think they're gonna actually talk about Deathloop, you know, at E3? And they didn't. Little did we know that the state of play was going to be about Deathloop.
Right.
Seems a little crazy.
But that's probably why.
But we've seen Deathloop already. You know what I'm saying? And, like, so while there was more information than we saw, but we haven't seen before, and, you know, it fills in some of the blanks, it's just kind of like, why did you do this? You know what I'm saying?
Folks is ready for it. Like, you don't need it. You don't need to sell it more. Like, yeah, you can show a couple of things here and there, but most people are ready for Deathloop to drop. They're on board with it, or they're absolutely say they don't want it. So it's you have the divide already.
It definitely came off like
I can agree with that.
It was unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't something we really needed to have in terms of a state of play. I don't think it really pushed the needle in any way. You know, look, if there are people who are not aware that Deathloop, you know, like they say Deathloop, they say Arcane. Like, if there are people who are not aware that that's now a Microsoft studio or whatever, and they're just like, you know, trying to get their hands on a PS5, if this is a game that they've really been looking for, again, you got to remember that, like, we're in a bubble where we know stuff that a lot of people don't know. Like, the average buying public, like, when you start looking at, all right, I want to buy a PlayStation 5, and what are the games that are PlayStation 5 exclusive or whatever that I can get? This is one of them. Like, this is one of them. You have to look at what Sony actually has. It's Ratchet and Clank, it's Returnal, and it's this. Like, those are the joints that are like the PS5 exclusive. Like if you get a PS5, like this is one of the reasons to buy it. So it is a thing that will probably move the needle and get people to buy PlayStation 5s, especially when, again, they're not one of us. They're not somebody who kind of knows all of what's going on. It's just like Microsoft owns that joint, so we're gonna get that joint in Game Pass
eventually.
Yeah. You might have to wait a year, but that joint I'm not gonna give you $70 for it right now.
Nope.
I'm not gonna give you $60 for it.
That's disgusting to hear that. And they'll get you $70. Not even a special edition. This is the regular ass edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, by the time they give it the Game Pass, it'll probably be a Game of the Year edition with whatever DLC they have. Like everything will just be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm State of Play wasn't really worth it. Again, it wasn't bad information. I certainly think that there are people who, if they're people who are tuned into this kind of thing enough to watch a State of Play because they just really like PlayStation. I think the problem is that, PlayStation had nothing at E3, and like Microsoft and Nintendo both came into E3 firing on all cylinders. Like they both had solid conferences, especially compared to what everybody else had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people were just been kind of waiting for that answer. And people are like, it's been these rumors like, oh, PlayStation going to do something in July. They're going to, whatever. And it's like, oh, this is what y'all
something, but it wasn't.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all really didn't have, like, it's a good thing y'all weren't at E3 because y'all wouldn't have had nothing to show me. Though they probably would have taken a lot of things from other places. Like, I think the expectation was like, yeah, they're going to do a State of Play. They're going to have something. And we'll probably see Final Fantasy 16 because we know they have a deal. You know what I mean? Like, I think just the expectations were higher because coming out of E3, like, E3 was literally a month ago, like just a month ago, almost to the day. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of what you have to say coming out of E3. It just feels like
you expect some of the stuff you would see at a normal E3 with them there. You kind of expected to see some of that at least.
Right. See that here because this is now your big stage or how you want to do your presentation for it. This is how you want to come to play.
Cycle to yourself. Nintendo already announced they joined last week. Right. Like you know what I mean? Whatever. Like
everyone talking about the Xbox, so it's like, God, they should have been like, you know what, guys. We got this in the bag now. It's like we're gonna put this hot fire out here, but no.
I did you guys see the information for the new Assassin's Creed?
I did see that.
Assassin's Creed Infinite.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
Interesting.
Sounds interesting.
I want to know more though.
Okay.
Yeah.
The idea has my interest piqued. I'm not sold on it, but I'm like, okay, interesting. Where y'all going with this? I want to know more.
That's where I'm at. Like, cause right now, like, I feel like the Assassin's Creed games they've lost that original Assassin's Creed feel. Like the games are good, like they play well and do all this, but they're just not that same Assassin's Creed from the Ezio franchise. Like I give you Black Flag, like it wasn't one of my personal favorites, but everybody loves Black Flag.
I'm about to say you wildin'. Black Flag was fire, bro.
My personal favorite.
I don't know why. Like for me, Brotherhood and Revelations would be my definitive two of the Assassin's Creeds. But it's like now with the way that the new ones are, they don't have that same feel. The games play, like I said, they play well. They're good games. Like they're good.
They're not bad games. They're just not Assassin's Creed games.
They're
not Assassin's Creed games, dog. Like I don't care that they say Assassin's Creed. Those joints are not Assassin's Creed games. Like if you look at any franchise and the way a franchise like evolves over time, this is not an evolution. It's a de-evolution. It's a different game. It's literally them just taking the map system, open world that like Ubisoft is known for, whether it's Far Cry or it's Assassin's Creed or The Crew, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's taking that and putting a bunch of crap on there to go do, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And but it took away like not having the real stealth elements, not having actual assassination targets, not having like all of that being gone. It's not Assassin's Creed. It doesn't really matter that you say it's an Animus and it's whatever. Like you could say it's an Animus and say that these people were not assassins, you know what I'm saying? And just call it a different thing and still have like an interconnected world. Like you could do a connected cinematic universe, if you will.
I was gonna say, do what Fast and the Furious did. I gotta use your example. Hobbs and Shaw, like, the Fast and Furious presents. And you could say like Assassin's Creed presents or whatnot ever, and then give it this whole new spin.
Or
It's
just
in the
say the
universe.
Animus presents. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like that, like we're using the Animus, but the Animus isn't only for finding people who happen to either be Templars or be assassins. Like you know what I'm saying?
Research.
Any number of things, right? So like you could certainly give them a new. Hey, listen, the word infinite is definitely being overused.
Well, they said it's a working title for right now, so that's probably not gonna be what it is when it comes
out. Yeah, I mean, look, the Assassin's Creed franchise is healthy. It's super healthy in terms of like sales and making money and whatever. But like most people never even go back and touch the DLC. Like there's just so much going on, too much. What up, Bear? Big open world, but doesn't feel as personal anymore. Correct. Like, and I feel like that's part of the problem. Like, I do feel like there are people who didn't connect with Eivor in this Assassin's Creed as well. Like, you got to know Ezio over time, so you feel something about that. Like, those games are clearly connected. It's still the same character. There's even like the thing that's brilliant about Assassin's Creed as an IP is that it has an infinite number of possibilities, like it's the Avatar. Like the Avatar as an IP is like, yo, you can make Avatar shows forever because there's all these avatars that already exist, and you could go and do shows or comics or games that feature those characters or whatever. Or you can just create new ones because it's just a continual, you know what I'm saying? It's a continual thing. Like it's like money on a tree. You know what I'm saying? Assassin's Creed has that same possibility. You could always introduce a new character or have something like that. But the brilliance of what happened in those first runs was like people actually getting a connection to Ezio, building things up through Brotherhood and following that storyline as it continued, you know what I'm saying, through those multiple stories. I actually like Syndicate better than Black Flag because I like the twins. I like being able to choose between the two. I like them being slightly different. Story is basically the same, you know what I'm saying, regardless of which one you had. But I also feel like I really enjoyed one of the things that Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag didn't do. They didn't have the verticality that just always felt so good about an Assassin's Creed game. Climbing the tallest building, getting to the top of that joint and diving off of that joint, being able to look over the city and looking at all the different buildings that you can climb and you can scale or whatever. And like, really, Syndicate is the last joint that had that. You know what I mean? Like, not that you couldn't climb pyramids and get to Odyssey, but it's like, but then you're just looking at like a low, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't have that same feel. But I liked Odyssey better. Like I liked those characters better, and that joint was cut short. Like there was so much other stuff they could have done with it. Cuddy said Odyssey did have a cult to take out. Did like the arena and Origins, but less stealth, especially with having options on the skill tree. Yeah, like I don't mind the skill tree. I think that's cool. I think adding in like the RPG elements is smart. For what it sounds like they're trying to do with this, like taking these like 2 or 3 teams, having them work on what it sounds like is basically their own Assassin's Creed games, but then having like it be an on like a connected like game as a service in some manner.
Yeah,
seems really weird to me, and I'm super interested in where they're gonna go with it. You know what I mean? If it is like, yeah, this world still exists, and then you get a new game that has a new character in a new area, and those maps are connected somehow, or you can bring that character over into that other map or something like that, like a GTA or something along those lines. Like, it could be very interesting. But it also feels like they're getting ready to try to milk it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Right now, I kind of want a little breathing room for Assassin's Creed. I kind of wanted to like disappear for a little while and then come back. And maybe it'll lead, maybe it'll play it different or whatnot, or maybe it'll give me a better impression of it. Because right now, as far as I'm concerned, like Assassin's Creed is, I'm kind of done with it. As much as I bought the last genre, Valhalla, like I only bought the base version because just like you said, I knew I wasn't gonna go back and go do the DLC. I knew once I started playing it, as soon as I noticed that we as we saw in the previews, some of those elements looked like they were being reintroduced back in there. When we saw the hidden blade show up, and we saw that, we were like, yo, this could be it. But then
AC is like Fast and Furious. It's all about family. I'm related to you through the animus, but now you only had to be related in the animus anymore. Bear Lewis Whitmore said the greed of Ubisoft is too much. They have a whole layout ready to pump out games in a quick succession. AC, The Division, Ghost Recon. Again, a lot of those games are games of service, right? And you can't leave out Rainbow Six. You can't leave out For Honor. Like, they do have something. They have figured something out that it feels like a lot of other companies haven't managed to figure out when it comes to taking a game as a service that doesn't even hit when it first comes out and staying with it, working with it, making updates and changes, and getting it to a place where even they do continue to grow those games, but like even if they don't, they continue to make money off of that base group of people who are just like, I just want to play more For Honor. There's new character, there's new, you know what I mean, whatever. Like they just, and that there is something to be said about an idea of an think about like
decade.
Right. If you look at like the idea of an Assassin's Creed that does the same thing as what those games are doing, where they just introduce a new character that has new abilities or can do something different. If they add in multiplayer, like I still feel like what they were trying to do with Unity when they added in that 4-player multiplayer co-op kind of stuff, I still think that there's something there. Unity was just a bug-ridden issue.
Yeah.
But I feel like since then they've done Ghost Recon and The Division, and you know what I mean? Like they've had these other joints where they've been and like dealing with that engine. That was a brand new engine, brand new console generation. So there were some issues that were there. I think that the possibility of having like, when you go in, there's these 4 or 5 different characters that are assassins or Templars or whatever to choose from, right? And they have different abilities. They can do different things. This person is great at stealth. This person, has the hidden blade. This person's great at hand-to-hand combat. This character does, you know what I mean? Like having something like that, there is a lot of potential for that to actually be really dope if they do it the right way. So I'm super interested to see what they say, but we probably not gonna see it for 2-3 years.
Yeah, they said 2024. They said 2024 the earliest. Yeah,
and I have no issues with that. And
take your time, because if you mess it up, boy,
I am perfectly fine with them doing that, and I'm sure they'll still release another regular Assassin's Creed in between there if they're working on like I don't want another one unless you're gonna.
I think they're gonna stretch out Valhalla for at least another year, updating it and all that kind of stuff, and just let it sit as they're working on Infinite or whatever it's gonna be. Yeah,
I think that's what the plan.
I'd be cool with that, because unless they're gonna do something like obviously Ezio, if they wanted to try to explore, I mean, I think his story was well told. I don't think there's a need to go back and find something, but I'm sure they could go back and explore some hidden thing that Ezio we did not see and do and not ever. I mean, I would be cool with that if we got all the OG elements back in it. I would rock with it.
I mean, I think there's a lot of potential there. We just had to see how they treat it. I mean, if you look at what they're doing in Rainbow Six, I mean, they're turning Rainbow Six into another game as a service. Like, it's just going to be like, yeah, come back in here and play this joint again, and hope you don't get captured and lose your character that you worked so hard to build up. And you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what it is, right? So being able to take an idea like that and apply that to Assassin's Creed, you know what I mean? Like, if you have multiple assassins or whatever, and you got different people you can pick from, and now you just, you jump into Animus and you're picking which one it is, and you lose one. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Changes the timeline or changes the end story or whatnot ever. That could be absolutely dope.
There's potential for sure. There's potential there.
You lose somebody, that's your 100% synchronization gone.
Yeah, we can't have that. We just can't have that. We just can't have that. All right, look. So we got to wrap this up. Couple of things before we go. One, Jokes, if you could do your job, I'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody who's watching, again, y'all know how this is. This is a community, so everybody make sure you're following everybody. If you hit that link tree, you can follow us across all of our social medias, including our Patreon, where we are dropping that spoiler boys.
Spoiler boys.
Man, listen, it's getting crazy, man. We only got one episode of Loki left.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's been popping. We'll be recording our thoughts on the most recent episode. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I got a little pressure from the Patreon crowd asking that we drop into Patreon earlier the spoiler boys before Monday. I had some pushback. Yeah, they was like, listen, Friday was cool waiting until Monday, but Wednesday to Monday, I'm getting sick. And I'm like, all right.
All right. Thinking about it that way, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I get it. And everything is gonna be Wednesday going forward now. So it's like,
yeah. So we might have to make some changes as far as that's concerned. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Again, what up, Doctor Who? Everybody who's here, look, make sure again y'all are checking each other out, following each other. If y'all see, if you look at the chat, you see my homie Lewis Whitmore is in there. Listen, my man been game jamming. Hey, Bear, let me know how the game jam has been turning out. But y'all make sure y'all follow my man. He's doing some game developing. So y'all make sure y'all check my man out, follow
Marcus.
him. Hit him up. Hey, Marcus, you just showing up? Was you banned the whole time, dog?
You know,
because you know, Frosty came in this joint like, where Marcus at?
Told you he ain't want no smoke.
Correct. So yeah, y'all make sure you please check that out. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
No, I believe him. I believe him.
No,
because remember when we were supposed to have a thing and he didn't show up until later.
You know why?
I believe him.
Snooze button, bruh. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all check us out on Patreon. Listen, for the low cost of just $1, man, you can jump in and get you some of this goodness a little early. Here's the other thing that's popping. If you hit that link tree, you'll see our anime chat link, you'll see our wrestling chat link, you'll see our MCU chat link. We do drop a small portion of Spoiler Boys into the MCU chat. No doubt, Bear. So listen, y'all make sure y'all check that out. Thanks, Bear. Appreciate that. Listen, if you dig anime, you need to be in anime chat. There's something getting ready to pop off next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend in the anime chat. Sin, please fill the people in what's popping with that.
Yeah, in celebration of the Tokyo 2021 Olympics getting ready to go down, we're going to be celebrating and talking about sports animes. So we're going to talk about the genre as a whole, and we're going to focus on 5 shows: Free for swimming, Hajime no Ippo for boxing, Kuroko's basketball for basketball, obviously, Yoramushi's pedal for cycling, and Haikyuu for volleyball. And it is going to be a very fun time. I can tell by some of the conversations we've been having in the chat. It's going to be fun.
Indeed. Marcus is going to be in on that chat?
Oh, he's there.
Okay.
He's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
myself, Marcus, Gary, and my cousin Noah is going to be joining us. It's going to be hilarious and fun.
Rocky Balnoa.
Oh,
the
yes,
homie himself. All right, dig that. Also happening on that same day, StellarCon. Jokes and I will be at StellarCon doing panel work. We have a panel we're doing. Listen, we're doing things a little different. We're doing essentially a last person standing battle royale MCU character rock, paper, scissors standoff. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be a good time. Yes, it is. It is. Hey. And I probably could have rearranged those words in any other number of ways, and it still would have been the same thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Worked.
But yeah, StellarCon is a first-time con over in Hartford County, so we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're going over there to show some support. Transcendent Events, they always look out for us. We got a lot of love, so we're gonna make sure we check that out. Listen, if you are in the DMV, if you're in the Northern Virginia area, you probably want to go on Facebook, do a look up for LotCon, Comic Logic LotCon. That's happening this Sunday, assuming we don't get some rain. It's gonna be some great folks there, including folks like Frosty. Listen, J. Robert Deans, who is usually in the chat, but it's probably working on stuff for LotCon right now.
Right.
We'll be there.
Doing that crunch.
lot of folks, a lot of fans. So y'all make sure that you just go on Facebook, look up Comic Logic Virginia LotCon, check that out. So if you're in the area, that'll be cool to do, and just take the family and go check some things out. There's a dunk tank. There's a possibility Frosty's getting dunked. Frosty, is that still happening?
Oh,
because Sid said he ain't had nothing else to do.
I'll say I got to donate money to somebody to go give that a shot.
I was saying this is gonna be if Frosty's gonna be the dunk tank.
Because you know Mark is fitting to go up that joint and get dunking done. She like, nah, I ain't gonna be in there.
I won't be there. Woo.
All right. Okay. So on that note, we just got our press badges for Otakon. We will be there. It's on and popping. It's going down. We got our panel time and day. 4:30 Saturday, the 22nd, room 103.
103.
For Awesome Con. So we'll be there being comfortable being a geek panel. We're still working on Baltimore. Like, ball is rolling. If you are not already in the Loading Snacks Movie Club, this is an opportunity for you to do that. Make sure you use that same link from the link tree. Jump in the movie club. Jokes was late, but did post a video that, listen, we got an introduction for all of the hosts. That includes us. It includes Frosty. It even includes the illustrious hidden face K that nobody ever sees. So K is a member of that. K is a lover of movies and so forth. It's going to be really great to have some good conversation with him. So we give an overview of what the movie club is, what we intend to go, to talk about, and we go into our predictions for Black Widow. So if you're not already in the movie club, you want to jump in, do that now before you watch Black Widow, which some people have already done, right, Sin?
That's right.
So before we watch Black Widow, you might want to see what our predictions are to see how wrong we end up being. But our movie of the month is Black Widow for the Loading Snacks Movie Club, and we are having a gathering where some of us are actually getting together at a theater to see that. If you go there, there's a pinned post where you can just click and you can join us there.
Yep.
For all of y'all who bought shirts for the movie club, we appreciate y'all. We gave you a week to do it. Some of y'all did it. Some of y'all didn't. Some of y'all are upset. There will be other shirts later, I promise. But that first run is done and done. But you can still get a sticker because we got stickers on there.
Hey,
stickers.
Yeah, it's a lot. We got a lot of rigmarole. There's a lot happening, y'all. But I'm done talking about those things right now. Sin, you got a job to do. Would you please?
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Deutsch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you all very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
We absolutely do. We most certainly and absolutely do. Listen, it has been wonderful talking with you gentlemen and having the chat at us. Greatly appreciate it. Always do. Tomorrow night we'll be on Twitch. I'm not positive what we're doing yet. We talked about it. Sin wants to play Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Whichever one is in Garden. I think it's Garden for Neighborville was the last one. That's EA.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
One of them.
That might be happening.
Yeah, you brought up Gears of War 2. Hive Busters.
Yes, because we need to finish that Hive Busters. Like, we only got a certain amount left to do, and I'm itching to finish that joint. But yeah, we'll be on tomorrow night on Twitch, 8:30. Feel free to come in and check us out, hang out, chat at us a little bit. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend again. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, see, look at that. Ooh,
gears.
Ooh, gears. Yeah. Yeah, looking real good. I think when we played before, maybe everybody didn't have. I think, Sin, you didn't have your Series X yet when we played that last.
I think that sounds about right.
That's probably right.
I think that's a fact. I think things might be a little different this go round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we may need to, just to check that out. Listen, I'm encouraging everybody. They ain't paying me nothing. If you got an iPhone, man, and you got Game Pass, get you a backbone, bro. You can get you a backbone, bro. That thing smoke.
Don't do that. It looks like you're caressing yourself.
Yeah, it does look like you're caressing yourself. Like you just barely getting onto the screen, and it's looking a little.
At first, I was like, "What is he doing?" It does like, "Oh, we trying to show off the Xbox logo." Like,
yeah, like that's a little. Whoo, I don't know. Hey, Jokes, what's that background you got?
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Whoa.
Sorry, I had to save one on my background for like ever. That's the reason why I just know the picture just off.
Hey, I've been playing it. So I was like, let me throw that as the game background on there for it.
Doctor Who says she's gonna miss movie night because she has a baby shoot that weekend. And listen, I don't listen. Who baby? What's happening with babies? Listen, Doctor Who, I'm sad that you're not gonna be there. There will be more at some point. Get a backbone, bro. Listen, CG, this is what happened when you come late. Now you late, G. You know what I'm saying? Get a backbone, man. I got one of these for my daughter for her iPhone for her birthday yesterday. It basically makes your iPhone into a switch. Like it just, and like you plug your phone in right there, you can still charge it, and like you can just go to Xbox Game Pass and you can just stream and just play your games out the cloud, bro. And it's pretty sick. It's pretty sickening. Yeah, I know you meant photo shoot. I was just like, it's a baby shoot, but this is okay. I guess maybe you're gonna be far or something like that. But listen, that's cool. We appreciate the fact that you're a member of the club and you have given us a lot of suggestions for movies. We got some things we're gonna work out as far as getting the votes out. Expect that in like the next 2 weeks for us to start pushing votes out for next month's movie. That is gonna be coming. I gotta start doing this early. It takes like 15-20 minutes to go through all
just to get through this part.
Good Lord.
By this time next week, you probably gonna have another thing that you gotta add into it.
$100, dog. Like if you have an iPhone, like real talk, like you can play your other games on it, but like the fact that you can just stream, if you got Game Pass, you can just stream your games out of the cloud, like straight to the joint. It's pretty sexy. Okay. I think I had enough. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Vote Marcus for mod. Does anybody want Marcus to be a mod?
No, I'm good on that.
Going once.
There's gonna be some. We're gonna have people battling on here.
Frosty didn't respond, so like,
Sure, dropped the hammer.
Straight up. Marcus, I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I got something I need to talk to you about. So you just look for me to shoot you a message in the next like 3 days. There's
B-O-N-O.
Caps.
Hey, listen, capital letters. You know what I'm saying? She held the shift button when she did that. What is what? What do you mean? What is that again? This? Are you talking about this? This is called a backbone this is a backbone for iPhone. I think it's actually called, there's like a backbone and there's like a backbone one. They're the same thing. They do the same thing. But yeah, again, the joint just slides open, it's retractable, even has like a little capture button so you can capture your gameplay right off your phone. Look at Sam buying one right now. Look at him. You see him on the screen?
I'm looking at the Razer keychains on sale on
because we Android for
yeah, it's on sale on Amazon right now, for
how much?
$69.93.
Oh yeah, that's a wrap because I was getting ready to get that joint on Microsoft joint. They was only $10 off.
That's just a little more right there.
Yep. And it is currently in stock. So
have that in the next day or two.
Yep. Send this right now.
Do it. Okay. Listen, we gotta wrap this up. It's time for us to go. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Make sure y'all go follow each other. Build the community, please. If you know people who you think would enjoy this content, share it with them. And don't be afraid. Some of these joints have like a heart button. Some of them have a thumbs up button. Some of them don't be afraid to hit that joint. That helps us out a lot. It really does. So with that, we're gonna wrap up this episode of Cutscenes. For myself, Gage, for Jokes, and for Sin, we are out. Toodles and lose.